Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this evening's guest moderator, Kevin Paloy from MTV's Next Movie, and tonight's guests, Logan Lerman and Alexandra Daddario.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Howdy. How's it going? Alex and Logan, thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you guys all for coming out in support of Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters.
I wanted to say hello, Apple Store. I just really wanted to say that. This is cool. Hey, hello. How's it going, everybody?
I'm going to start with a few questions of my own, and then we're going to open up the floor to you guys a little bit later if you have some questions you want to ask these two. So the last time we saw your characters in Percy Jackson in the 2010 first edition of this movie, they were venturing through the underworld. They were on top of the Empire State Building. They were ultimately saving Mount Olympus. Set the stage for us. Where does Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters start off? Where are you guys in the second installation?
We are, at the beginning of this film, the first film was like a discovery movie, right? So it's like, Percy's really discovering his connection to, the gods and everything. And now in this film, he's immersed in the world, but he's not a hero anymore at the beginning of the movie. They're at the camp, and Percy's really been one-upped by another demigod, and his confidence is pretty low. And we start there, and then we find out that the camp's protective border, which is a tree, has been poisoned, and the gang, all of us, Annabeth, Grover, and I, and my new brother Tyson, who is a one-eyed monster, we end up going on a journey to the Bermuda Triangle, the Sea of Monsters, to find the mythical Golden Fleece, which is being held captive by Polyphemus. And we're trying to get that back and revive the border and save our camp and save Olympus and the world. And
it's an epic adventure.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I hope I did a good job, summarizing this movie. It's a tough movie to summarize it's pretty crazy,
The Lightning Thief was a global, worldwide smash. This series of books by Rick Riordan seem to get more and more popular by the year. What types of interactions have you guys had with fans of the series that made you guys eager to revisit these characters again?
I've found that this is just the most amazing fan base, and you're stepping into something that people already love and know, and there's something really incredible about that. And I love the fan base. It's such an enthusiastic, inspired group of kids and people, and I think the movie is such a great story and has such a great message, and it's really, really cool to be part of that.
Yeah, everything she said, I guess in the past 3 years, the fan base has really grown a lot too, since the first movie came out, and I've noticed more people want to see this one, so, it's about time that we, got back together and made a second film.
The series sort of embellishes on Greek mythology, right? It's almost to a point where it's fan fiction version of Greek mythology. Do you guys ever wonder, do you guys ever hear any stories? I have to assume at some point there's a 7th grader writing about Greek mythology, and they mention Percy Jackson as the son of Poseidon.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that my cousin actually teaches English to, I forget what grade she teaches, but she tells me, she teaches Percy Jackson in school, and she tells people that I'm her cousin, and it's like, they think that's the coolest thing ever, and that's amazing to me. And I know that Percy Jackson really helps, in addition to being a really interesting story and a really great fantasy story, I think it really teaches people a lot. So it's great that people are learning it in school, reading it in school.
Cool. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at a first film clip.
Parade of Damnation.
Looks like a New York City cab.
Same difference.
Chap, get in the cab.
Yeah, we just had this cab sanitized for your protection.
Excuse me, we're trying to get to Florida.
Our kind of fare. Pricey.
Maybe we should have flown commercial. Look out!
Calm down. If we didn't know what we were doing, we wouldn't be licensed.
They don't have eyes.
Tempest, split!
We paid extra for that option.
That actually looks like a pretty accurate portrayal of a ride in a New York City cab, I think, from my experiences. I mentioned the author of the Percy Jackson series, Rick Riordan. We were talking about embellishing on the idea of Greek mythology. Funny enough, he was a middle school teacher. He taught Greek mythology. Percy Jackson emerged as a story he told over 3 nights to his kids as a bedtime story. I'm curious to know how much interaction you guys have with the author. Is he involved? Does he show up on set of the films? Are you in regular communication with him?
No involvement.
No involvement.
I'm thinking if I met him once. I think I met him once.
We did. He came to the set of the first film in Vancouver, and he was very nice, but we haven't
nice.
seen him since.
Yeah. I wish we did have more involvement with him and communication and everything. I don't know why that we didn't. But on the first film, yeah, he was really involved in the first film with Chris Columbus, who directed that film, and I know that they had a pretty tight relationship, but yeah, we never really spoke with them that much.
So the first movie was directed by Chris Columbus. He produces the second installment. This movie was directed by a man named Thor Freudenthal, which has to be probably the single greatest name in Hollywood, I think. Thor Freudenthal, and he's directed a movie about demigods, by the way.
It's very appropriate.
Tell us what Thor brings to the table for the second installment.
Well, I mean, his tonal style of filmmaking really matches the books, and what the books are, which they're very fast-paced and a lot, very comedic, pretty light and funny, and his past work, I think Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the first film, and all that, it kind of matches the tone of this series a lot, and I think that the fans really wanted to see a more accurate portrayal in this film of what the tone of the book really is, and I think he really captured that, which is exciting.
In this one,
And she's blonde.
like the character. So that was a nice change, I think. That he wanted the movie to be closer to the books, and I think that's just one example of the changes he made.
Let's see those changes in action. Let's check out another clip.
You are here about Hermes?
His son, actually, it's kind of important.
Yeah, I could tell the way you burst in here all rude like.
You're...
Hermes, little insulted you didn't recognize me. My feelings might have even been hurt. I wasn't such a self-confident individual. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm killing these shorts. You like this tie? Just bought it. Hermes, of course. Check it out. State-of-the-art sorting, processing, and packaging facility. If you're going to cross paths or Zeus forbids swords with him, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have a thing or two to help you out. Collector's item. Twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the four corners of the earth. Now you tell me that isn't cool. No, not in here. Now, you're also going to want one of these. I hold in my hands a matter eliminator trademark pending. Anything you outline with this will disappear. Gone. Thanks again.